Every town hides a place it refuses to name out loud. Not because it is forgotten, but because remembering it feels dangerous. In Fairfax County, that place is a narrow road beneath an old railway bridge. People call it Colchester Overpass, though no sign ever admits it exists. Locals do not warn newcomers directly. They simply say do not drive there at night. They say animals behave strangely there. They say sound travels wrong beneath the bridge. And sometimes they say nothing at all. Emily Carter arrived in Fairfax during the last week of October. Cold air followed her from the north, carrying the smell of dead leaves and rain-soaked soil. She had taken a job she barely wanted just to escape a city that had begun to suffocate her. She believed changing places could change people. On her first night, she drove alone toward her rented apartment. The highway lights faded one by one as her GPS rerouted without warning. The road narrowed. Trees leaned inward as if closing a mouth. Emily slowed down, feeling watched, though she could see nothing but darkness. Her headlights brushed against the bridge ahead. Concrete stained by decades of moisture loomed like a scar across the road. The air grew colder beneath it. Heavier. That was when she noticed the smell. Iron. Wet fur. Something white flickered at the edge of the trees. Her foot hovered over the brake. She told herself it was a deer. Or a sign. Or nothing at all. Then something struck her windshield. The sound was dull, not sharp, as if flesh rather than stone had hit the glass. Emily screamed and slammed the brakes. Her car skidded, stopping inches from the shadow beneath the bridge. Her heart pounded so loud it drowned the engine noise. She looked up. A figure stood in the middle of the road. Tall. Motionless. It wore a rabbit costume, once white, now stained with dark patches that absorbed the light instead of reflecting it. The head was oversized, its empty black eyes staring straight at her. In its right hand was an axe. The blade was chipped. Old. Still wet. Emily could not breathe. Her fingers locked around the steering wheel as if it were the only thing holding her to reality. The figure tilted its head slowly. Not like a curious animal. Like a man pretending to be one. Emily pressed the accelerator. The car lurched forward, skidding past the figure, so close she felt something brush against the side mirror. She did not look back. She did not stop until lights and people and noise swallowed her fear. At the diner, her hands shook so badly she spilled coffee onto the counter. The waitress noticed immediately. "You look like you saw a ghost," she said. Emily laughed weakly and told the story quickly. A man in a bunny costume. An axe. The bridge. The laughter in the diner died. The waitress froze mid-motion. Her face drained of color. An old man at the counter turned slowly. His eyes were cloudy but sharp with memory. "You should not have driven there," he said. Driven where? Emily asked, though she already knew the answer. "The bunny man rode," the old man replied. He spoke softly, yet everyone leaned in as if the walls themselves were listening. "Long before you were born, before I was born, there was a prison transport that crashed near those woods," he said. 2 inmates escaped. One was found dead, torn apart by animals. The other was never found. Weeks passed. Children disappeared. Hunters vanished. Bodies were discovered hanging from trees, skinned and marked. Every witness described the same thing. A man dressed as a rabbit. Carrying an axe. Emily tried to argue. Tried to reason. But something in their faces told her the story was not being told for entertainment. That night she locked every door. She closed every curtain. She told herself fear was contagious and she had caught it. Sleep did not come easily. Sometime after midnight a sound pulled her from shallow dreams. Scratch. Pause. Scratch. Her eyes opened. The sound came again, closer this time. Her bedroom window. Emily sat up slowly. Her apartment was on the 2nd floor. No trees reached that high. The scratching stopped. Silence pressed against her ears. Then came a tap. Slow. Deliberate. Tap. Emily stood, her legs trembling. She approached the window inch by inch. Her breath fogged the glass. Outside in the parking lot stood the bunny. The costume looked worse in the pale streetlight. The fur was matted. The chest dark and crusted. The head tilted at the same unnatural angle. The axe rested casually against its shoulder. The bunny raised one hand. And waved. Emily screamed, backing away as her phone rang in her hand. She had not picked it up. It rang anyway. Unknown number. With shaking fingers she answered. A distorted voice whispered through the speaker. "Come to the bridge." The call ended. Outside, the bunny lowered its hand and stepped backward into the darkness. Gone as if it had never been there at all. Emily stood alone, listening to her own breathing. She knew then that the story was not finished. It had only just begun. Emily did not sleep that night. Every shadow in her apartment felt heavier than it should. Every sound carried intent. When morning finally arrived, it did not bring relief. Only exhaustion and a quiet certainty that something had marked her. She skipped work and drove back to town searching for answers. The bunny man was a story, she told herself. A prank. A myth fed by fear. But the image of the axe refused to fade. At the local library, an elderly woman sat behind the front desk. Her name tag read Margaret. Her eyes lingered on Emily longer than polite. "I need information about Colchester Overpass," Emily said. Margaret stiffened. "You should not ask about that place," she replied. But Emily insisted. Margaret sighed and led her to the archives room. Dust coated everything. Newspapers yellowed with age lay stacked like buried memories. Accidents. Disappearances. Missing persons. All near the bridge. Margaret spoke quietly. "People think the bunny man is one person," she said. "It is not." Emily felt cold. "What do you mean?" Margaret opened a file dated decades earlier. "The first bunny man was real," she said. "A butcher who lived near the woods. He wore the costume to scare children away from his traps. One night a child went missing. The town found the butcher hanging beneath the bridge. They said he confessed. But Margaret shook her head. He did not kill anyone. The town needed someone to blame." Emily felt her stomach tighten. After that night, the legend grew, Margaret continued. Each generation added to it. Each generation fed it. Emily asked the question she feared most. "Who wears the costume now?" Margaret did not answer. That evening, Emily noticed something strange. People watched her. Too closely. At the grocery store, conversations stopped when she entered. At the gas station, a man refused to meet her eyes. When she returned home, a note was taped to her door. "You should not dig." Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. The same distorted voice whispered, "You are getting closer." Emily locked herself inside, shaking. That night she dreamed of rabbits hanging from trees, their empty eyes turning to follow her. She woke to the sound of footsteps in the hallway. Slow. Heavy. They stopped outside her door. A voice spoke softly through the wood. "You asked the wrong questions, Emily." Her blood ran cold. How did he know her name? The handle turned slightly, then stopped. Silence returned. By morning the hallway was empty. No footprints. No sign anyone had been there. Emily knew she could not stay. She packed quickly and drove toward the overpass, determined to face whatever waited there. Fog rolled in thick and unnatural, swallowing the road. The bridge emerged slowly from the white like a wound reopening. She parked beneath it. Dozens of rabbit masks hung from the beams. Some new. Some rotted. The smell was unbearable. A voice echoed from the trees. "Do you understand now?" The bunny man stepped forward. Closer than before. The axe rested against the ground. "This town survives on sacrifice," he said. "Fear keeps it quiet." Emily backed away. "You are lying," she said. The bunny man laughed. A sound too human to belong to a monster. "Look around," he said. Figures emerged from the fog. Men. Women. Familiar faces from the diner and the grocery store. All wearing rabbit masks. They circled her slowly. "You saw us," he said. "That makes you part of the story." Emily ran. Hands grabbed at her jacket. Fingers scraped her skin. She broke free and ran into the woods. Branches tore at her clothes. Her lungs burned. Behind her came laughter and the sound of metal striking trees. She tripped and fell hard. The bunny man loomed above her. "Every legend needs a new face," he said. Emily screamed as the world went dark.